Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, one person is dead and 3 others are injured after investigators say a schooner's main mast snapped and fell onto the ship in Rockland. Anna Kuhn has more details on this incident.
Rockland EMS says 2 of those injured are in the hospital and 1 other was flown to the hospital to deal with their injuries. Those injuries coming after investigators say a mast broke and fell onto this ship behind me called the Grace Bailey. Grace Bailey Navigation spokesperson says the ship was returning from a 4-day cruise when that mast split and fell onto the deck. The Coast Guard says there were 33 people on board at the time. The U.S. Coast Guard as well as Rockland Emergency Services responded to that scene around 10:30 this morning and got the injured passengers off the ship. In a statement, Grace Bailey's captain, Sam Sikema, said, quote, "My crew and I are devastated by this morning's accident, especially since the safety of our guests is always our biggest priority. Most importantly, we are beyond heartbroken that we lost a dear friend." No word yet on the identities of any of those victims or what might have caused that mast to split, but the U.S. Coast Guard is launching an investigation.
Meanwhile, the crash this morning left part of Interstate 95 stalled for nearly 12 hours. According to Maine State Police, a tractor-trailer traveling northbound on I-95 ran off the road and struck several trees. Troopers responded to the crash around 9:30 a.m. It happened around mile marker 174 in Carmel. State police say the 2 people inside the vehicle suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both passengers were transported to a nearby hospital. The interstate was down to a single lane for several hours. Motorists reported on social media that they were still sitting in traffic around 8 p.m. tonight. The cause of the crash has not yet been released.
The Wabanaki Alliance held a rally at the State House today to raise awareness for one of the ballot questions this November. Our Corey Bouchard was there and has the story.
Over 200 people rallied outside of the State House in support of Question 6, a referendum question that will appear on next month's ballot. Currently, printed copies of the Maine Constitution issued by the Secretary of State's office are missing Article 10, Sections 1, 2, and 5, which, among other things, details treaty and other obligations that Maine agreed to with its Native American tribal nations when it separated from Massachusetts and became its own state in 1820.
Treaties of 1820 showed that back then our ancestors were putting in the diplomacy and the good work to be included in those discussions. And whatever the reason is for taking those out of print, now is the time to restore it, now is the time to fix it, and now is the time to vote yes on Question 6 and get our full history in our printed Constitution.
Bryant added that this ballot question is the result of multiple bipartisan bills that went before the legislature.
To have a Constitution in the state of Maine that has a whole section about the tribes being struck out for absolutely no good reason is unconscionable. For people to not want to put that back would be incredible.
After the speeches, proponents of Question 6 marched to the steps of the State House. We spoke with some of them about why they think Question 6 is such an important issue.
I think it's important to bring back truth and history and to allow the Native people here to have their rights.
We need to uphold our promises to the Wabanaki nations, and it's printed in the Constitution when it was written, so it needs to be printed now.
The tribes made agreements with the government at a certain point, and we need to understand what those meant then, what they mean now in terms of what's due to the tribes.
We reached out to the James Finney Baxter Campaign Fund, a political action committee that opposes Question 6, and did not immediately receive a response. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
An Indigenous Peoples Day celebration was held in South Portland earlier tonight. That event put on by the South Portland Human Rights Commission. A member of the commission says the event is about bringing the community together to honor our ancestors here long before us. He added that it's especially important to spread the message to our youth.
It is important to bring the youth together and honor and exalt and uplift one another, particularly when we're talking about cultures that have been here for a very long time, and that in my view we have an obligation and and really a duty to engage with.
That event was held at the Red Bank Community Center and was open to all public.
Well, Indigenous Peoples Day is a time to recognize the history and culture of tribal communities here in Maine and across the country. But one museum in Bar Harbor doesn't celebrate just one day a year. It honors tribal history every day. Our Doug Banks has the story.
How they had to fight for just the fact that they existed here before this, the fact that they had to buy back their land from the government is just mind-blowing. That was very interesting to read.
Indigenous Peoples Day marks a time for recognition, remembrance, and perseverance. Abbey Museum in Bar Harbor gives people an opportunity to gain knowledge and understanding of a community whose significance stretches far beyond every second Monday of October.
I think some museums, sometimes they don't give enough, they don't have enough, not instructions, but they don't have enough explanations next to the items, but they had a sufficient amount of explanations here.
The museum holds pieces of the Wabanaki Confederacy, an alliance of tribes that include Passamaquoddy, Penobscot, Micmac, Maliseet, and Abenaki tribes.
Encapsulate a great number of years of human history that we otherwise easily overlook in our modern culture.
Pieces such as a painting titled Twisted Path, Questions of Balance, and the Circle of Four Directions drum are just two of the many items that bring people into a different world. Although today is just one day, there are some who see more than just a holiday, but a life and a history that doesn't go away when the calendar turns to tomorrow.
Forget the cruise ships, this being Bar Harbor, one of the greatest ports on the East Coast, and Acadia National Park is great scenery, but take a moment to consider what came before all of what we otherwise take for granted around us every day.
I preface this by saying, we know a fraction of what has gone on and what goes on, but it has allowed people like myself who don't know as much about it to go to them and understand what their experience may be about.
In Bar Harbor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some parts of Maine are still working to clean up the mess post-tropical cyclone Philippe left behind. Our Grace Blanchard takes us to Searsport to check out the damage along the coast.
Traffic is being redirected on the corner of Prospect and Main Street in Searsport as construction crews work on a road that has been completely washed out.
I heard that the Gordon contractors were on site at 3 a.m. trying to get things cleared up so we could pass.
Parts of Maine are facing major road damage after being hit by several inches of rainfall from post-tropical cyclone Philippe. According to the Maine Department of Transportation, damage centered on the Mid-Coast and Bangor. In places like Searsport, the National Weather Services reported over 5 inches of rain accumulated between Saturday and Sunday.
Over the past couple of years, I've come through here after big storms, and the whole road is washed away.
Some people who work in the town are worried about how this will impact the ongoing construction and detours that have already slowed down business and visitors.
Some of the roads on the detour for the construction were flooded, and I think some of the construction was.
This past July, the Maine DOT began construction on Route 1 in downtown Searsport, and for storefronts on the downtown strip, the detours have made for a difficult tourist season.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down things. That's what I've got the consensus of talking to other people.
However, some say it will all be worth the wait once the projects are complete.
It's an inconvenience, but in the long run, it'll help Searsport.
I would say just pack your patience, leave a couple minutes early, and it'll all be worth it in the end.
It is unclear what kind of setback the damage from the storm will cause on the construction already going on throughout the town. In Searsport, I'm Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
We've certainly had our fair share of storms and subsequent storm damage this summer.
We've had
fall.
disaster declarations now because of some of the storms that we've experienced.
Right.
So just we've dealt with a lot from Mother Nature, I would say, in the last 3 to 6 months, and certainly not helpful to those ongoing projects for sure.
Yeah, and even more on top of that is that we're expecting more rain this week as well.
Here's hoping it's not too very much, but let's get a check of our forecast and see what's coming our way in the immediate future.
Hey Beth, thank you. Happy Monday. Look what we did today. High temperatures back up near 60. We're supposed to do this time of year. Probably the same thing tomorrow, followed by some cooler temperatures and some rain showers getting in here later Wednesday into Thursday. Okay, out there today though, lots of dry air and lots of sunshine earlier. It looks like we're in trouble, but we're not. This system is going that way, and this one's going very slowly this way. So that one over here, it will get here, not tomorrow, more so late tomorrow night, and more so on Wednesday around here. There's actual low pressures right there. It's fun to look at, but it's going to bring us some rain showers Wednesday into Thursday morning. All right, going forward though, some frost is possible well south and west of the area tonight. The rest of us should stay have low temperatures around 40. Our forecast then tonight though, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies with low temperatures in the 40s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
All right, so definitely one of the chillier overnights we've seen of late. So I think that fall weather now here to stay after that last burst of heat that we had.
It's finally sinking in for sure.
It is,
Yep.
yeah. I'm not upset about it. All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. Tonight's Powerball jackpot, a record breaker.
After the break, we'll hear from some locals about how they'd spend all that money. That story and more local news when we come right back.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I feel free to bare my skin thanks to Skyrizi. I'm celebrating my clear skin my way. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. In another study, most people had 90% clearer skin even at 5 years. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Thanks to clearer skin with Skyrizi, this is my moment. There's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
College football is back. So is the noise. Feel what you've been missing. College football on Fox.
Hello, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll get a recap of the Living History Days from over the weekend at the Maine Forest and Logging Museum. Plus, we'll check out the Wabanaki Alliance rally that happened on Monday, and we'll hear from a local woman that recently had a dream that inspired her writing of a book. These stories and more coming up.
Welcome back. Did you buy a Powerball ticket? Tonight's jackpot is a record-breaking amount. Our Devin Dagnall tells us more.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we're doing all right. Let me get this. 3 packs of Camel Crush. I'll get $4 on pump 4 and
$4 on pump 4, but
1.5
4 packs
billion?
of Camel Crush.
Yeah, it does say 1.5 billion. I'll take 20 tickets. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is worth $1.5 billion. With an estimated cash value of just under $700 million, it's the game's 3rd largest jackpot in history.
I got 9 of them.
The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot is 1 in 300 million, which is 33 times less likely than being struck by lightning. Twice.
The odds are fine. They're in my favor right now.
With hundreds of millions on the line, you'd think the Mainers playing would develop some type of game plan, even if it was superstitious, but you'd be wrong.
You got a strategy to it?
Nope. Whatever they give me.
It's no strategy, just pick and hope.
Unsurprisingly, some of the Mainers say the first thing they would do if they won the jackpot is leave the state.
Oh, I would travel, go on vacation, go somewhere warm.
Devin Dagnall, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, drivers in Maine are experiencing a little relief at the pump. Gasoline prices in the state have fallen more than 6 cents per gallon in the last week. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,200 stations around the state, the average price now sits at $3.71 a gallon, and that's a little over 11 cents a gallon lower than a month ago. It is, however, still more than 9 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, said, quote, "At long last, the decline in gas prices that we've been waiting to see has arrived, and the locomotive of falling prices has only recently started downhill, gaining momentum." DeHaan says he is optimistic the national average could drop another 25 to 45 cents by late November. I'm hoping that it's 45 cents, and I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think everyone would be happy with, just a steady decline of those gas prices.
Long
Certainly,
overdue.
Any time that goes down, it's a relief, but it still feels like they're
they're
up
still
there.
to me they're still sitting fairly high.
Right.
Yeah,
you still feel it every time you're at the pump.
Oh, Lord, yeah. And I drive a fuel-efficient vehicle. I mean, I can only imagine how someone who drives a van or a truck must feel. It must be just horrendous.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
all right. Well, coming
all
up
right.
on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, we'll have the latest from the war in Israel and how the U.S. is responding.
And the search for a House Speaker continues as Republicans look to determine the best candidate. All of those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Bell's Automotive Protection is Maine's #1 mobile undercoating and rust-proofing service. We come right to your driveway, protecting your vehicles from harsh winter road brines and chemicals, saving you thousands of dollars later on from expensive and dangerous rust repairs. Call us or find us on Facebook for a free quote, 659-3805.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Are you ready to light it up, Bangor? Experience the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party, featuring outrageous Monster Trucks action, including the electrifying freestyle motocross, laser light show, and the fire-breathing transforming robot, Transaurus. Plus the Crash Zone pre-show party before each performance, and save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Truck toys come to life, October 20th through 22nd at Cross Insurance Center in Bangor. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
After unbelievable record-setting growth, the Maine real estate market is getting back to basics.
And so are we, because getting you the best real estate deal is our job.
We're using new tech to go old school.
We're on your team, sharing our years of experience and resources with you.
We know panic mode is out. Robust marketing and thorough walkthroughs are in.
But the best part of getting back to basic
is getting to know you
and listening to you.
Together, we'll give you a professional experience.
From start to sold.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of
Carroll Drugstore, Coastal Auto Parts, Edgewater Motel and Cottages, First National Bank, Howard Insurance, Ray Plumbing and Heating, River Road RV Repair, and Two Old Goats Antiquities and Artisans.
Bell's Automotive Protection is Maine's #1 mobile undercoating and rust-proofing service. We come right to your driveway, protecting your vehicles from harsh winter road brines and chemicals, saving you thousands of dollars later on from expensive and dangerous rust repairs. Call us or find us on Facebook for a free quote, 659-3805.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Israel's prime minister says the nation is in a war to ensure its existence. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is working to respond to the crisis as the American death toll rises. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
Israeli first responders taking in the widespread damage after Hamas rockets targeted several communities over the last 2 days. Cars riddled with bullets, buildings blown to pieces, and Israeli men cheering on their military in the streets. All signs Israel is at war.
We didn't want this war. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way.
President Biden has pledged full support to Israel's defense, speaking with key U.S. allies, France, Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom in a joint call Monday. The White House now saying at least 11 Americans have been killed in the attacks and others could have been taken hostage.
We're in constant touch with Israeli officials right now to try to get a sense of the whereabouts of all the unaccounted for Americans, because they who knows where they are or what condition they're in.
U.S. military aid is already on the way to Israel, and the Biden administration says more assistance will be announced in coming days, but there is currently no intention to send in U.S. troops.
Israel will win this war, and when Israel wins, the entire civilized world wins.
Pro-Israel demonstrations taking place in cities across the U.S., while others stand with the Palestinians. The White House is showing solidarity with the people of Israel, lit up blue and white, the colors of the Israeli flag, Monday night. President Biden did not speak on camera today about the war in Israel, but is expected to give remarks tomorrow. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the impacts of the war in Israel are being felt by people here in Maine as well. Congregation Beth Abraham Rabbi Chaim Wilansky has friends and family that currently live in Israel. He says what's going on there right now is horrific.
They spent the holiday in bomb shelters with their family, children, young kids, and I have many friends that live in Israel. And they're all going through this terrible atrocity that's taking place right now. This is the worst thing that happened since the Holocaust. Children being taken away, slaughtered, grandparents being kidnapped and killed. Terrible things going on over here.
Maine Voices for Palestinian Rights is an organization that works to put an end to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories and recognize political and human rights for all Palestinian people. Former chairperson Robert Scheibel has been following the conflict between these two nations for decades and says he's stunned with what he's seeing.
We have good friends in both Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. So we were very stunned. We were very frightened and shocked. I wish this had not happened. I also wish that the siege of Gaza, which has been going on by Israel for about a dozen years now, I wish that had not been happening and wasn't continuing to happen.
The Pentagon standing firmly by Israel after Saturday's attacks by Hamas. Fox's Rich Edson has more on the security assistance already on its way to the country.
The Pentagon says in response to Hamas's attack on Israel, the United States is bolstering its defense and deterrence response in the region. This adds to the existing U.S. military presence in a region that also features Iran-backed militias, Hamas, Hezbollah, and others. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he's directed the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group to the eastern Mediterranean, including a missile-guided cruiser, guided missile destroyers, and steps to augment fighter aircraft squadrons in the region. Austin goes on to say, quote, the U.S. maintains ready forces globally to further reinforce this deterrence posture if required. In addition, the United States government will be rapidly providing the Israel Defense Forces with additional equipment and resources, including munitions. Austin says the first security assistance will begin moving today and arriving in the coming days. Officials say the highest level of U.S. and Israeli military leadership have been in constant contact since these attacks began. The Defense Department says Austin also spoke with Israeli Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant. The Pentagon says Austin and Gallant will continue to consult in the coming days to ensure Israel has the support it needs. The U.S. has pre-positioned $2 billion worth of weapons in Israel. Officials say that could be used to assist Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is warning of a long and difficult war. U.S. officials are bracing for a long response from the Israeli military. Hamas launched this attack as Israel and Saudi Arabia were negotiating a possible historic peace agreement. At the Pentagon, Rich Edson, Fox News.
The search for a House Speaker intensifies as lawmakers look to respond to the crisis in Israel. Members of the Republican Party will meet this evening to hear from two candidates. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Buildings in Gaza reduced to rubble as Israel launches retaliatory airstrikes after Hamas's surprise attack over the weekend. The fast-moving crisis ramping up pressure back in Washington for House Republicans to find a speaker quickly.
Unfortunately, the House can do nothing without a speaker.
That includes providing military aid to Israel. House GOP members say it's never been more crucial to show a united front. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise are trying to shore up support after Congressman Kevin Hern stepped back from a speaker's bid over the weekend. Congressman Matt Gaetz, who initiated the ousting of Kevin McCarthy, signaled he could back either one.
If we have a Speaker Jim Jordan or a Speaker Steve Scalise at the end of the coming week, there won't be a single Republican, sans maybe Kevin McCarthy, who doesn't believe that we have upgraded the position.
But the possibility of another contender could throw the race in for a loop. After saying last week that he won't run for the gavel again, McCarthy is indicating he might be open to returning to the role.
That's a decision by the conference. I'll allow the conference to make whatever decision. Whether I'm Speaker or not.
Republicans say they just need to elect someone or risk worse consequences.
I would urge my colleagues to not play games with this. This is very serious. It sent a message to the rest of the world that we are weak and dysfunctional, and it worries me.
The absolute earliest the full House would take a vote on Speaker is likely Thursday, and it could take longer than that. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
The UAW strike against major automakers expanded on Monday to include workers at one of the country's biggest manufacturers of heavy trucks. Fox's Garrett Tenney has the story.
The United Auto Workers strike is getting even bigger. Union workers at Mack Trucks joining the picket lines after voting down a new contract. About 4,000 Mack workers in Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania walking off the job Monday. The proposed deal that was broadly rejected by union membership would have included a 19% pay hike, a $3,500 bonus, and improved benefits and vacation time. But that is still far below the bar set by UAW President Shawn Fain, who is seeking a 36% raise for union workers over 4 years. So far, the two sides remain far apart on that number. UAW did not expand its strike on Friday as it had in weeks prior. That's because General Motors agreed to unionize its electric vehicle battery plants. Those workers will be crucial as companies ramp up their transition to EVs over the coming decade.
We would stand to lose 20% of our workforce if our members don't have rights to move into those jobs or transition into those jobs. That's what we talk about, a just transition.
That concession coming after the union threatened to shut down GM's crucial truck plant in Texas. Even with the standstill now in week 4, the union president says they've been able to move the needle in negotiations.
We are making significant progress. In just 3 weeks, we have moved these companies further than anyone thought was possible.
About 25,000 workers are on the picket lines. The union says the strike will continue until a deal is reached with all 3 automakers. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
All right, and still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a Harvard professor's research seeks to explain why the gender pay gap persists, and her work is earning some high praise. We'll have more.
And the 1 and 4 Patriots are at a low not seen in decades. How the offense needs to respond to get back on track. We'll be right back.
Don't miss 2000s night and see why it's a huge deal. An all-new Masked Singer, Wednesday at 8 on Fox.
When a government-controlled utility took over in Long Island, New York, it made big promises. But what did residents get? Household electric costs increased by more than 50%. Customers' bills skyrocketed with new surcharges. The utility ranked the lowest in customer service, and it failed to pay millions in required payments to local schools and fire departments on time. Don't bring New York's problems to Maine. Vote no on question 3.
All That's Metal in Herman is ready to be your trusted partner for your metal roofing and wall panel projects. Our high-quality metal roofing and wall panel systems are offered in a variety of colors and styles and backed up with a 40-year warranty. We manufacture standard as well as custom sizes in our facility in Herman. Homeowners and contractors, elevate your structures with our market-leading metal roofing and wall systems. Stop by our retail store at 893 Coldbrook Road in Herman to see our selections and to discuss your upcoming project. All That's Metal, the best roof and wall systems on the market.
Exciting news. US Cellular has the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro with a stunning titanium design and the best iPhone camera yet. The thing that I love...
Beautiful. Now let's cue the music. Green screen and action.
US Cellular has the amazing new iPhone.
Come on, man. It's titanium.
US Cellular has the amazing new iPhone.
Cut. Love it.
That felt good.
New and current customers can get the titanium iPhone 15 Pro on us. US Cellular, built for us.
It's a season 100 years in the making. It's 100 years of history.
And New England has Stanley Cup fever again.
Of heart.
That was quite a gesture.
And of hockey.
You're seeing history.
But it's not just about the past. It's about what happens next.
He scores! Wow!
The next 100 years.
What a game!
Starts now. Watch the Bruins Centennial season on NESN and streaming on NESN 360.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Maple Lane Farms, Engstrom's Auto Service, Foxcroft Academy, Loyalty Inc., McCusick Petroleum, Riverside Grill, Rowell's Garage and Car Wash, and Whitney's Variety.
Much has been said and studied over the years about the pay gap between men and women in the workplace. One Harvard professor's research seeks to explain why the divide persists, and now it's earned her one of the highest honors in her field. Fox's Alexis McAdams has the story.
The Nobel Prize in Economics awarded on Monday to a Harvard professor whose work sheds light on the true cause of the pay gap between men and women. Claudia Golden is the author of Understanding the Gender Gap. She studied 200 years of women's participation in the workplace and says the environment has changed drastically in the 21st century.
Women are now more educated than men. They graduate from college at much higher rates than men. They do better in high school.
Despite those advances, women earn on average about 13% less than men. Golden says that number doesn't tell the whole story.
These differences, although some are found within the labor market, are really reflections of what happens within individuals' homes.
The key factor, Golden says, is parenthood. After having kids, women's pay tends to drop and career growth slows down. That's because modern corporate culture tends to reward workers with more flexibility and availability.
America runs on women. And we noticed that during the pandemic, when women were being pulled back into the home because of their work and because of childcare.
Ultimately, Golden says both genders lose out, women on advancing in their careers and men on spending time at home with their families. Only about half the world's women have paying jobs compared to 80% of men. Economists believe that's a wasted opportunity, with jobs not always going to the most qualified candidates.
It's about economic efficiency of markets. So is there a risk that we're wasting potential by having women not participating in the labor market?
So Golden's work doesn't provide an easy answer on where we go next, but it could help policymakers understand the root cause of the disparity. Reporting in New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
Working conditions and patient safety are behind a possible job walkout this week at Walgreens across the country. Reports indicate that employees at 500 of Walgreens' 8,600 stores in the U.S. could walk off their jobs. Some technicians and even pharmacists are concerned that workloads are affecting patient safety, such as fulfilling prescriptions and administering COVID-19 vaccinations. One pharmacy association member says the root problem deals with not committing dollars to hiring the right staffs. Walgreens says it's made significant boosts in pharmacists' salaries and hiring bonuses to keep good staff. Meanwhile, our crew stopped by multiple Walgreens in the greater Bangor area, which were all operating as usual today.
In other news tonight, tuberculosis cases are on the rise in New York City, and it's causing public health experts and physicians nationally to sound the alarm. TB cases began to fall precipitously in the early 90s. Now, post-pandemic, they are back up. In 2022, New York City saw 536 people with tuberculosis. Officials say 2023 numbers are expected to outpace last year. Experts believe the uptick is due to many factors, including the closure of tuberculosis centers, making diagnosis and treatment that much harder.
It's a common misconception that TB is no longer a threat in the U.S. It is. It's out there. It's respiratory infection spread through respiratory secretions between people in close proximity. And it can cause serious lung infections, even death. Though we're only at 500 cases, the concern is that this could, if we see this continued trend, be the largest year we've had for tuberculosis in the city in the past decade.
Well, some common tuberculosis symptoms include pain with breathing or coughing, coughing of blood or mucus, fever, night sweats, and weight loss.
Delta is settling a class action lawsuit having to pay some customers affected by pandemic-era canceled flights. Reports say Delta is going to refund those who filed valid claims using a $27 million payment fund. Those affected had flights canceled early in the COVID-19 pandemic. The suit filing says Delta refused to provide cash refunds between March 1st of 2020 and April 20th of 2021 and instead granted future flight credits. The settlement doesn't acknowledge any wrongdoing done by Delta.
It's certainly been no shortage of air travel challenges really for years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but during the pandemic, it was just an absolute mess.
It really was,
Yeah.
and it seems like maybe that has kind of exacerbated some issues, and a lot of that now coming to a head.
Indeed. Alrighty, folks. Well, stay with us because we have all the answers coming up in our full 5-day.
High temperatures back up near 60 today. We'll do it again tomorrow, but then some changes are on the way. We're going to get wet again. Details for you when I come back.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the sparks that unite us, to the passions that drive us. We're driven by the things we love. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together. Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. With the largest network of parts and care to keep you firing on all cylinders. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Some things are worth waiting for. Something reliable, something loyal, something long-lasting. A 6-year warranty? Coyote's got that. One machine for all the dirty work? Count on Coyote. Coyote won't break your heart. And Whittemore & Sons got the deals that won't break the bank. So quit swiping and settling for less. Slide into Whittemore & Sons and be treated like family. By a family who cares. 257 Waterville Road, Skowhegan.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Coastal Auto Parts, First National Bank, Johnson Foundations, Loring Job Corps, Pixels to Print, and Stearns Lumber.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Let's play Snake Oil.
Sniff out the scam product and win life-changing money.
This show's crazy.
All new Wednesdays after The Masked Singer on Fox.
Well, it sure feels like fall out there with temperatures near 60 today. That northwest breeze in the area as well. It's going to feel worse this week, though, as we do have some cooler temperatures on the way and also some more rain showers likely around here on Wednesday into Thursday morning. Out there today, though, high temperatures, 62 here in Bangor, also Millinocket. This is about what we're supposed to do this time of year. We'll likely do it all over again tomorrow before some slightly cooler temperatures get in here for Wednesday into Thursday. The wind out there now is going calm in a couple of spots across our region, so you know what that means. The wind goes calm. It will pick up a bit tomorrow, though, especially in northwestern areas. Could see wind gusts near 25 to 30 miles per hour later in the day before it goes calm again tomorrow night, and that could give us some dense fog once again. You know, driving 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m., likely some dense fog out there, and it'll be slow to lift after the sun rises around 6:30 or so tomorrow morning. All right, so I know this looks like we're in trouble. There's lots of low pressure. Is one here, one over there, but we're kind of in a happy place in the middle right now. We should stay dry tonight, dry through most of tomorrow before we get some rain showers from this system coming in here later on tomorrow evening. That will likely bring some more rain showers throughout the day on Wednesday and probably into Thursday morning. There's an upper level low over here. You see it? They are fun to look at, but they do whatever they want. They're kind of cut off from the circulation. They have lots of energy, lots of moisture. That's going to, right now it's going that way, which is unusual northern hemisphere, but it will begin to go this way, and that's going to bring us that chance for some showers later on tomorrow evening and then off and on throughout the day on Wednesday. Let's walk you through. So tonight, some dense fog out there is likely by tomorrow morning, and then overall tomorrow is going to be a pretty nice day again with some sunshine after the fog lifts and temperatures hanging out near 60, but then increasing clouds tomorrow night. Here comes some showers with that system, and likely once they get here, they're going to be off and on throughout the night on Tuesday night into Wednesday, and probably even in the early parts of Thursday morning, as that low pressure is going to be just close enough to give us some rain showers out there then. Going forward, though, so precipitation-wise looks like this. So not a lot through Thursday evening. We're talking maybe a couple of tenths of an inch of moisture. That's not a lot at all. More like drizzle around here late tomorrow night into early parts of Wednesday. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies. Some dense fog is likely. Low temperatures down near 41 with that south breeze around 5. For tomorrow, it's Tuesday. Partly cloudy and breezy. I kept the chance for rain out of the forecast tomorrow. It's going to be a close call, though, with high temperatures near 62 and that south wind it could gust near 20 throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows tomorrow pretty nice day, and the clouds increase tomorrow night. Off and on rain showers on Wednesday. Not an all-day rain, but just know some rain showers in the area on Wednesday. They should clear the area by Thursday morning, and then maybe another round of light rain showers late Thursday into Friday before here's the weekend looking at some sunshine Friday before we get more rain showers on Saturday with high temperatures near 60. Beth?
All right, so some nice, calm, cool fall weather on the way, but also, unfortunately, a little more moisture as well.
Exactly. Those temperatures right where you want to see them, though.
Absolutely.
So can't really complain about that.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Fear, pain, and anxiety are all feelings associated with dental treatments, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dental lasers offer a way to remove tooth decay without using the dental drill. In fact, we do most dental fillings here at Twin City Dental without numbing, so no needle. And for treatments like root canals or having many teeth extracted, we also provide IV sedation. So call Twin City Dental for your next dentist appointment.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Tired of your internet service constantly letting you down? Those other providers may promise the world with their flashy advertisements, but are you truly having a good customer experience? Fear not, because there's a new player in town. Introducing GoNet Speed. No more endless hold times or automated responses. We're here to listen, support, and provide you with the exceptional service you deserve. Our fast, reliable fiber internet, it's mind-blowing. Let us show you what true internet satisfaction feels like.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I know we don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. The last time the Patriots started a season 1-4 was in 2000 when Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback, and it was Bill Belichick's first year as head coach. The 1-4 Patriots are in trouble after getting blown out at home by New Orleans Sunday, 34-0. In the Patriots' last two games against the Saints and the Cowboys, they've been outscored 72-3. For the second straight week, Mac Jones was pulled in favor of backup Bailey Zappi, and the Patriots will visit former OC Josh McDaniels and the Raiders on Sunday. Earlier Monday, Belichick, who may be on the hot seat for the first time in his Patriots coaching career, talked his struggling offense, which is averaging a league-worst 11 points a game.
I think there's a lot of things we need to do better offensively, and that's everybody's a part of it. Coaches, players, every position. I don't think it's limited to one position, one group. Just collectively, we have to perform better.
Okay, now to some happier news. The Class A and Class C Golf State Championships being held at Natanis Golf Course in Vassalboro on Monday. We've got highlights and results for you, starting with Class C. Tournament being held at the Arrowhead 18 at Natanis. Let's go to 13. Wyatt Folsom from Marana Cook's second shot to the green. Gets a bunch of loft on this thing and sticks it to a few feet within the hole. He finishes 7 over. To 14, MCI's Owen Moore, second shot. He saw Folsom's and says, I can do you 1-4. This one even closer to the pin. We'll have more on him later. Up ahead to 16, Noah Schaff from Orono. His second shot uphill to the green. And what a great shot this is. Just off the fringe, but he can easily putt from that distance. Speaking of putting on the same hole, here's North Yarmouth's David Gall for par, and he ekes it in there for the nice save. Okay, now let's go to the results. Individuals, Caden Thoreau of Fort Kent wins the boys state title at 2 over. Garrett Kendall from St. Dom's and Owen Moore tied for second at 3 over. Also tied for second were Ethan Pelletier from St. Dom's and Dexter's Chase Farnsworth. For the girls, Maddie Prokopius from North Yarmouth wins it at 16 over. Behind her tied for second at 17 are Amelia Zach Risson from Kents Hill and Monmouth Reese Bowden. And for the team, St. Dom's is the Class C state team champs at 39 over. Behind them, Marana Cook at 42 over and Kents Hill at 45. Now let's go to Tomahawk 18 for the Class A tourney. 15th hole, Messalonsky's Jacob Moody's approach to the green, putting some nice spin on it here. He puts it within a few feet. Up to 16, Eli Vine from Hamden Academy chipping on, and this kind of short game was what makes you a state finalist. He finishes 7 over on the day. Over to the par 3 13th now. Mark Twombly from Scarborough, the defending champ, is going to put this thing in great position right next to the hole. And then the birdie putt, he easily finishes the job. Just after him, it's Andres Jimenez from Thornton Academy for his birdie, around 15 feet away from the hole, and he nails it. He goes on to finish 3 over. Okay, now let's go to these Class A individual results. Will Farshon from Brunswick wins the boys title shooting even par. Jacob Moody second at +1, then Mark Twombly at +3. Also shooting +3, Dante Iannetta from Falmouth. McKenna Castle from Thornton Academy and Alexis McCormick from Oxford Hills tie at 13 over for a share of the girls title. Carly Iannetta from Falmouth behind them at 15 over. And the team champs for Class A are Falmouth at 24 over par, Thornton Academy in second at 28 over, then Brunswick at 31 over. Okay, how about some high school volleyball action now? Hamden Academy hosting Brewer Monday night. Brewer won the first set, so to the second we go. Hamden leading 12-6. Ava Downs the serve, and it hits the floor safely. Ace. A couple points later, Hannah Snowdeal sends it over for Brewer, but Kamania Lehman says, She spikes it down. Broncos win set 2. Third set, Gabby Roberts the bump, Eve Pearson the set, and Snow Deal the spike for Brewer. That makes it 13-10 Hamden. A bit later, Peyton Fogg the serve for the Witches, and she has an ace of her own. Brewer comes back to win the third set. It would take all 5 sets to decide it. Brewer wins it 3-2. Okay, now to some other scores from the area. Class B field hockey, Nokomis 2-0 over Lawrence. Class D boys soccer, Pequot Valley 1-0 over Piscataquis. Class B girls soccer, Herman a dominating 8-1 win over MDI. And finally, Class C volleyball, Marana Cook 3-1 over Bucksport. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I feel free to bare my skin thanks to Skyrizi. I'm celebrating my clearer skin my way. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. In another study, most people had 90% clearer skin even at 5 years. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Thanks to clearer skin with Skyrizi, this is my moment. There's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
You are the hero of your own story, with the strength to get through even the hardest times. And every hero has their own set of challenges. If your journey's getting tougher, you can find tips, resources, and support that'll help you find your way to better wellness. With Strengthen Me, it's free, anonymous, and confidential. To continue your hero's journey, visit strengthenme.com or dial 211.
Lego Masters is back.
It's sink or swim.
Please float, please float, please float.
We got a minifig down.
All new Lego Masters, Thursdays on Fox.
Robots in disguise, abandoned canines, and an urban legend are among the new digital DVD and music releases available to add to your home library. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin runs down the list of what's new in home entertainment.
This is about the fate of all living things.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts tops this week's list of what's new in home entertainment. The 7th film in the live-action series features the Autobots teaming up with a new faction of Transformers known as the Maximals to battle the Predacons and Terrorcons.
You are officially a stray.
Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx lead the voice cast in the R-rated comedy Strays. The film follows a dog teaming up with other canines to get back at his owner for abandoning him.
A UFO has crashed in my backyard.
Oscar winner Sir Ben Kingsley stars in Jules, a sci-fi dramedy about a man's life-changing encounter with an extraterrestrial.
It's all just in your head.
The horror thriller The Boogeyman is an adaptation of Stephen King's short story about a family being terrorized by an unseen entity in their home.
There's some darkness out there.
Small screen favorites to own, season 2 of the popular Showtime drama Yellow Jackets. Paramount Plus's crime drama Mayor of Kingstown season 2 starring Jeremy Renner. And season 1 of Fatal Attraction featuring Lizzie Kaplan and Joshua Jackson taking on Glenn Close and Michael Douglas's iconic roles in the TV remake of the 1987 film.
This is not no love at first sight.
For music fans, rapper Offset marks a new chapter in his life with his second solo album, Set It Off. Country chart topper Riley Green's new album, Ain't My Last Rodeo, is inspired by hard work, life outdoors, and family. And country singer-songwriter Kylie Morgan releases her debut album, Making It Up As I Go.
I'm just making it up as I go.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
The Maine Forest and Logging Museum held its Living History Days in Bradley over the weekend. This yearly event is the nonprofit's biggest fundraiser. Crowds gathered to see the famous Lombard log hauler, the locomotive parade, and the water-powered sawmill. Visitors also got to take a horse-drawn carriage ride around the property. Sarah Kolb of Durham was in the area for a wedding and decided to stop by.
I love history, so I love to see how people used to live. So this is right up my alley.
So when you visit the museum, as you can see here today, it's not just static displays. You'll see equipment being operated and demonstrated, and that's a unique way of presenting that history. So you can see it, feel it, and hear it, which is pretty cool.
The Maine Forest and Logging Museum, located on the Government Road in Bradley, is open daily during daylight hours.
A grandmother from Herman is proving dreams really do come true. Natalie Coles says she was sleeping peacefully when she had a dream about a moose named Moxie. When she woke up, she started writing a children's story about the moose in her dream and his adventures. She self-published that book in April and did all the pictures using her computer. Coles stopped by the Not So Empty Nest on Broadway in Bangor recently for a book signing.
I wanted it to be something that caught the kids' eye with the colors and with the message as well, and being, having good friends and trusting and having faith and all of that. And so I'm really pleased with the way that it came out.
Coles says all her grandchildren have their own copy of the book. Of course, The Incredible Adventures of Moxie the Maine Moose is available at bookstores in Bar Harbor, Bucksport, Belfast, and online at Amazon. You can also find it at the Not So Empty Nest as well.
I love the illustration of Moxie the Moose, just like the cutest adaptation of a moose I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of open to reading it myself.
Yeah, I think
and I definitely have friends with, young kids. So yeah, that's going on the Christmas list.
It's got to go on the list for sure. Yep.
Alrighty, well that is going to do it for us folks. From everybody here at Fox 22 News, take care and have a great night.
Good night everyone.